This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports Chaco. We're here with Ireland's newest pro. Well, obviously you've been pro now a couple of months. Obviously your news broke, I think, around May. But you're probably the happiest man in Ireland today. You just obviously had your debut news announced. That relief now, I guess, obviously after a period of probably, I'd say, uncertainty. Probably you were initially supposedly, I think you were looking at potential debut in the Colin Bill, obviously in August, and then there was then last minute news for last week in Mark Dunlop's show, but you're now going to be back. You're going to have your debut in 3 weeks' time in Oldham. How does it feel now, obviously, now you have that debut news?
I'm buzzing, so I am. It was just, for a long while there, it was, you were basically on call, or you didn't have anything in, like, set in stone. You were just training, hoping for something to fall out, and you were being told, stay ready and stuff. So it's good to have it announced and a date set and going, you're fighting, so you can, like, I've been training for the past 2 years non-stop, and then when I heard there was like fight possibilities, it was ramping it up, and then you were coming down again. So it's good just to have a good bit of notice to put in a good training, finish off a training camp, and then go and fight in Manchester.
I guess sometimes if it comes too easy, then you're sort of going, what's going on? I guess, the potentially obviously making your debut in Belfast was going to be brilliant, because obviously you could have had fans and stuff there once from home, it's cheap for them and everything else, but it's sort of annoying at the same time to know that you're so close to it. Does it sort of now give you that sort of gloss to know that it's happening, or I guess until you sort of get into fight week, you can't really get too excited?
Yeah, well, that's it. I sort of knew that this, once the mark, we were trying to, I was basically on the Mark Dunlop show, and then it was just getting an opponent, and then I don't know what happened, the opponent fell through, and then once that happened, Kevin had said he said going on this card, and I said yes, just make it happen basically, and I'm taking over a good few people too. So yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm just glad it was announced. Just see when you see that, when you see it, it's done. And it's there. It's like a certainty, So right, that's it. It's on,
I know you sort of told me in the sort of, because that I'm not going to say anything in advance. You sort of told me on Saturday it's coming. I could see the sort of excitement, the fact that you knew your debut was coming. I guess, when you've been so long, obviously out of the ring, it's been a few years since you've been really punched in the face competitively. I guess it's that fact now going, I'm putting the gloves on, I'm going to have a proper fight. That's the things you're now going to start getting excited about.
Actually can't wait to get punched in the face competitively, to be honest. No, I can't wait. It's been a long time out. March 2020 was the last time I'd fought competitively, so I just can't wait to get in and even show what me and Dee's been working on the past 2 years. The fighter I was in's nowhere near that now, so the improvements, I'll show me improvements and get the win.
The last time we spoke, obviously you and Carl was looking in this interview today, but we're keeping an eye on him to make sure he doesn't sneak in. But last time we obviously spoke was a Colin card. Obviously your stablemate Colin Murphy obviously became a BI Celtic champion. Paddy McCrory obviously put on another dazzling show, and he's now going to obviously be fighting for the ABO belt. I guess the probably only downside is you can't go to Germany now, because obviously your fight's the same night. But you obviously had Owen in action last week, and Conor Quinn obviously unfortunately had a draw when obviously most people thought he'd have won. But I guess now everybody else has had fight news, everybody else has had fights announced. You're obviously now getting your moment to shine, and obviously Lee Reeves obviously won in America as well, so now it's your chance to get out and shine. I feel like a professional boxer now rather than just training like one.
Yeah, no, the gym's been buzzing from Lee. Lee won the belt, and then you'd Callum, Paddy, and then you'd Owen and Conor there, you feed off that in the gym when you're training together, and there's positivity in the gym. That's what you want. You want a positive gym to be in. You're all learning together, you're all winning together, and especially Paddy here, he's going on the same night as me for a world title, and I think he smashes it. I think he does. He wins it. He probably knocks your man out, I'd say, and aye.
I guess you'll be hoping to be on early on in Kevin's show, obviously in Oldham, so you can obviously sit down and watch Paddy's fight. But I guess the drawbacks from that, obviously, because Dee's going to be in Germany. Who's going to be doing your corner for the night?
Well, again, there's a few people even in the club, that said they'll come over with me if again, because Paddy's fighting, Paddy's probably priority there. He's fighting for a world title, so If nobody comes over, I'll have somebody over there with me from Manchester. Do you know, that's all sorted. To be honest, at this rate, mate, I couldn't really like that. There's a back of my mind. I just want to fight. You know, I know obviously at pro debut training and all, but if I have to, I'll get him a no trainer. Do you know what I mean? Just to get a fight. But no, I'll have somebody over with me. So I will. And then there'll be as well from Kevin's side, there'll be somebody there too. So I'll be well looked after. Do you know.
I guess the thing is, you just can't get in. You know, that's the rules of sort of boxing nowadays. You need to have a corner and they need to be licensed and everything else. But I guess you don't want to look too far ahead from your debut. But sort of what sort of talks has Kevin been having? Is obviously once you get your debut out of the way, is it trying to keep you as active as possible?
That's it. Just stay active. You know, for a 2 year layoff, that's what you want. You want activity. So yeah, like it again. If nothing comes on over here, I'll go to Manchester and I'll fight in Manchester. He runs shows. He runs shows I think every 2 to 3 months. Like he has a show this weekend. He had a show a few weekends back, and then there's a show here in October. So he can keep me active on his own shows, and if anything comes on over here, I'll take it. Like, you know, so yeah, just activity, just stay active, and maybe finish the year with maybe this fight and another one before the year's out. You know.
I know Kevin's always been, you know, I think he's the largest stable in Europe. He always seems to have a good relationship with a lot of promoters as well. So there's the potential, obviously, you could fight, you know, on other, you know, big cards. You maybe starting off cards, but are you sort of prepared? I guess, you know, your true fighting weight, you probably not ideally fight for a few fights, depending on opponents and stuff like that. I guess it's just getting in there and just getting used to obviously been in a pro ring before you start competing at your true weight class. Yeah.
Well, no, this fight's at super bantam. I'm sitting quite light, so I am at the minute. I don't have much weight to get off. That's another thing. So being in basically training for 2 years flat out, you know, I live it. You know, when it comes down to everything, even sort of the job I have is coaching boxing or PTing or whatever. So I'm within that environment all the time. It's easily done. Dad's been right the last 2 years, so I'm ready to go. Don't have much weight to get off. The first fight will be super bantam. I hope to stay there, you know, and campaign at that, you know.
And I guess, you know, you're a fighting person and everything else. If obviously the opportunity was put, obviously how active you want to be, I guess you wouldn't want to fight every week, but obviously maybe potentially every couple of months if obviously there was fight dates there in the pipeline for you.
Definitely, like I know Mark Dunlop has a show in November, and if I come out of this unscathed, I'll definitely go on that show. And again, I know then you've the condom bill in December, so I'm open to anything. I'll fight just to get the activity back again. I'll fight anywhere. You know. You're
good friends with obviously Jamie and Mick and obviously Paddy Barnes as well. Obviously, who's no longer fighting, but I guess that probably bodes with you well. The fact you're friendly with them, they know who you are and probably what you're all about. So it might obviously give you a good turn at the fact that here, give me a fight in Mick's card, and it probably could be done as easy as that.
100%. Listen, if they offer a fight, I'll take it. You know, definitely. Like, there's no. It was the same as that one. Whenever Mark came to me, yeah, like that came and I said yes. Anything, like I was just if it's a fight on, I'll take it no matter what. And then it was just the opponent fell out. So if something comes, I'll definitely take it. Like, you know, so 100%, yeah.
Well, obviously we know we've just over 3 weeks to go. I think 3 weeks and 2 days. You're pretty much in 3 weeks' time today. You're probably making your way over to Manchester. But obviously, we want to thank you for obviously giving us the exclusive sort of. Probably in a way I don't like to use exclusives because a lot of people use exclusive this, that, and the other nowadays. But it's good. Obviously, we can get an interview out as your fight news has been announced, and I'm sure we'll obviously look forward to seeing you in action very, very soon.
100%, Marty. Thank you very much, mate.
Cheers, there. Take care.